Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Sunday, June 15th, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2025. We've got an uptick in earthquake activity at Campi Flegrei, as well as Santorini. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, with 18 severe weather warnings in effect in just the last hour. Buckle up, Buttercup, and keep calm. It's boom time. Vance Boelter taken into custody in lawmaker shooting in Minnesota. This psychopath who shot 4 politicians and killed 2 of them is now in custody. Good news there. The man who authorities believe shot 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses in politically motivated shootings earlier Saturday morning is now in custody. Multiple sources told WCCO on Sunday evening that Boelter, 57 years old, was taken into custody near his home in Green Isle, Sibley County. Good news there, and we may get some closure. But closure is certainly not on the table here for the Israeli-Iran war. Israel warns of fresh wave of missiles from Iran as explosions are heard over Tel Aviv tonight. So we've got an ongoing war between Israel and Iran, and people are losing their minds. But we've got more important things to worry about here on the homeland of the U.S. 3-year-old among 4 dead in West Virginia, flash flooding. More missing as flooding expands to the mid-Atlantic. And this is after over a dozen people were killed yesterday in San Antonio. Flash flood emergencies continued in West Virginia today after deadly flooding struck the state earlier this weekend. Some areas of Ohio County, West Virginia, saw up to 4 inches of rain in an hour. A state of emergency was declared in Marion County, where an apartment building partially collapsed in Fairmont. And at least 4 people have been killed, and others remain missing after dangerous flooding impacted Wheeling, West Virginia, and surrounding communities this weekend. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey provided a somber update on Facebook Sunday when he announced the deaths due to flooding that took place. And you can see here some of those flooding pictures and some of the vehicles in question. Our thoughts, hearts, and prayers go out to all those affected. And severe weather leaves thousands without power in Wheeling. A quick look over at Power Outage US shows Texas, the nexus of the Schmexis, has the most power outages, over 15,000 there. And California second on the list with just over 7,000. Louisiana over 7,000. Arkansas over 7,000. But West Virginia is not on the list. North Central U.S. faces daily bouts of severe weather. Through early week, the most common hazards within the strongest thunderstorms will be large hail, powerful wind gusts, which can snap trees and down power lines. Here's the threat through Sunday night. Great Falls, Billings, Bismarck, down to Rapid City. And tomorrow, the threat shifts east. Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Scottsbluff in Nebraska, and most of Omaha. And we've got 19 severe weather warnings on Tornado HQ. Most of them are up in the north central plains here. Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska. We've got one kicking off in West Virginia. Several marine warnings on the coast of Texas, as well as North Kakalaki. Heed the warnings and come over to Tornado HQ to get the latest updates on severe weather warnings, now up to 20. South Dakota, the most recent, a severe thunderstorm warning for Haken, Meade, and Pennington counties. And now the full forecast. We've got threats for heavy rain and severe thunderstorms continuing in the plains. Fire weather conditions worsen in the southwest. On Monday and Tuesday will be your lose day. The focus for heavy rain and severe thunderstorms will continue in the plains and the central Mississippi River Valley. Meanwhile, hot conditions and critical fire weather looms over the Great Basin and southwest U.S. through midweek. It's a tinderbox here. No rain is forecast for weeks, And, well, we're about to explode in wildfires in the Southwest. That's all I've got to say. I live here, and I know the conditions are worsening. So if you've got any questions on your local communities, go over to weather.gov and click on your county for more information. Here we are over at the GFS model, and we'll just move this through hour by hour. This is tomorrow, and the next day we're going to have more severe weather threats through the north. But by the end of next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, June 22nd, the pattern quiets, and we've got a winter storm warning entering the picture, which is going to dump heavy snow in British Columbia and maybe even the northwest U.S. And this is all Friday, June 20th through June 23rd. So those are on the models. They've been there for days, and we're sticking with it. And this is what I mean. Let's take a look at the total snowfall throughout the model run. That is epic. That is epic summer snow, and that is all of it falling by June 23rd. Holy macaroni. We're going to get snow near Ottawa. We're going to get snow in BC and Alberta. We're going to get snow in Idaho and Montana in summer. The longest day of the year. Some of the hottest times on Earth. And it will be snowing in these regions. Well, that's all I can say. Farmers devastated by unprecedented event wipes out 90% of cherries. The worst crop failure in 25 years. And guess what? It's not due to the heat. It's due to the cold. In Hungary, Hungarian cherry growers are bracing for the worst harvest in 3 decades. 25 years after devastating April frosts wiped out 90% of the country's fruit-growing areas, according to Hungary Today. The brutal cold snap brought freezing temperatures below -8 degrees Celsius to regions across Hungary that haven't seen that in decades, destroying cherry crops despite farmers' best efforts to protect them. Even modern frost protection methods couldn't combat what experts called transported frost. Yes, all due to global warming and climate change, according to this article. Can you believe this? Crops are failing due to cold and freezing, and they're blaming it on warming. We live in a retard world. That's all I can say. Seismic update. No quakes of note. We've got normal activity worldwide, enhanced activity in Argentina with a 5.2 and a 5.6 in Peru. Who knew? Now you do. Holy macaroni. Overall, normal activity worldwide. Worldwide volcano news for the 15th of June. We've got Raum to 15,000 feet. Liwotolo, you can see the stringer there heading out to the north, 7,000 foot puff there. Sangay to 22,000 feet. Ducono on the list. Reventador ongoing volcanic ash, Ibu to 6,000 feet. Semeru, 14,000 foot blast there. Santorini, we mentioned it on the outset. A new swarm of small earthquakes is raising eyebrows in the region. Ducono, continuous volcanic ash reported. Sangay to 22,000 feet. Santorini, we told you, an uptick in seismicity. Reventador volcanic ash ongoing. Home Reef to 6,500 feet today. Liwotolo to 7,000. Ibu to 6,000 feet. Semeru to 14,000 feet. Nevado de Ruiz, 19,000 foot blast there. Ducono to 12. And wow, we've got quite a list today for worldwide volcano news. And here is an update on Naples and the Campi Flegrei volcano system. We had an uptick in the last 7 to 10 days with a major uptick 10 days ago. That has been quieting down. We're going to keep a close eye on that. Let's look at the 30-day. You can see that big bump up in seismicity here just about a week ago, and we'll look at the full 1 year. It looks like, well, something is developing over the last 5 months at Campi Flegrei. It's not going to be a VEI 7 super eruption. If this does erupt, it will erupt VEI 4, in my opinion. It will kill tens of thousands of people if it does erupt, and there is no warning, unfortunately. Quick look at space weather. We had major flaring today. A near X-flare M8.4 was observed around now Earth-facing sunspot region 4114. That's directly Earth-facing for the most part. There it is. But the CME shot to the north. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to get some of the modeling. WSA Enlil spiral. It's Sunday, folks, and no one is probably in the office. But tomorrow we're going to get some good modeling on this and see if it's bringing a geomagnetic storm our way. Currently, the 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all quiet. We are down at KP2, and while flaring is now up in the high-level sea range, so things are getting spicy. And join us tomorrow for all of the updates and all the modeling coming from this potential coronal mass ejection. Telemetry looks all quiet as plasma speed has now dipped down towards 400 kilometers per second. And an interesting article hitting the shelves today, 14,000-year-old Ice Age puppies, almost perfectly preserved, were actually wolf sisters that dined on woolly rhino for the last meal. A pair of canines found in Siberian permafrost were wolf sisters that died shortly after eating and were flash frozen. They didn't date them to 12,800 years like Lee and I have been finding in all peer-reviewed research in the last decade. These are in a different time, an approaching time to the big event. And so these babies were probably frozen instantly after a piece of the Taurid complex hit the ice sheet 14,000 years ago, causing catastrophic mud floods and instantaneous freezing. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please hit the thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Half the people watching tonight are unsubscribed, and we need your help to grow. We want to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Just hit the button and be safe. We love each and every one of you. And that is a boom.